Welcome to the Mystic Media channel. I am your host, Rabina Rastaban, aka the Realist Astrologer. And I'm taking a small break from finishing up this natal chart report that I have to complete today. And I just wanted to get into this Monique situation. Now, I did a video about Monique before regarding her South Node in Libra and how that is tripping her up in terms of her career. So I just wanted to get deeper into it because she's in the news again because now she's calling for a boycott against Netflix because she didn't get her way. So basically, to make the long story short, she now is actually coming out that she approached Netflix allegedly for this comedy special, and she was offered $500,000. But then now it's coming out saying, people are saying that no, Netflix actually wanted to offer her up to $3 million if she was willing to audition for that role. So now basically Sidney, Monique's husband, is saying that that's not true and the $3 million figure never came up in conversation. But I kind of find that hard to believe because there's some sources out there that are insiders in the industry. So I'm kind of giving more credence to them, especially considering Monique's track record. So again, I can't reiterate this enough. It's the whole cause of this issue with Monique is pointing to her South Node in Libra. She really has it bad because her South Node in Libra is opposed to her Aries moon. So her South Node is in Libra, her North Node is in Aries, and her North Node is conjoined to her Aries moon. Now, I don't know what time she was born, so I'm not sure how close her moon is to that North Node. I'm thinking it's pretty close because of just how she is, just her demeanor, her behavior, and this pattern of her creating conflict within her industry. So I just wanted to get a little deeper into her chart and also talk about some of the transits that she has going down. But Monique is a Sagittarius born December 11th, 1967. And basically at this point, I'm asking, is she a dark-sided Sagittarius? Because she's definitely displaying those traits. Now, we all have our dark side to us, and every now and then that dark side can come out. But the difference between a person that, sometimes their dark side comes out as opposed to a dark-sided person. Basically, a dark-sided person is always creating conflict wherever they go. They can be very selfish, very self-absorbed. They could be manipulative, have this huge sense of entitlement, and basically just put a dark cloud over people's heads. And that's what it seems like Monique is. So basically, I'm calling her a dark-sided Sagittarius, and from what I see in her chart, it basically reinforces what I see, and I believe at this point, a lot of you guys would probably agree with me, because she's just unreasonable at this point. Now, one thing about Sagittarius is all about principles, so that's basically what Monique is going off of. For her, it's about principle, because she calls herself actually the most decorated comedian because of the awards she has received over the years. But come on, Monique really hasn't been relevant in like the past 10 years. Now, she did put out that movie Almost Christmas or whatever, I think last year, but she played a supporting role. She wasn't even starring in that film. So she really needs to check herself, and she needs to be humble. But Sagittarius, especially dark-sided Sagittarius, often has a problem with being humble. And again, like I said, with Sagittarius, a lot of times it's just about principle. It's about GP. So that's what Monique is going off on. But this boycott thing, it's ridiculous because it's really unfounded. Because Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock, who's on the bill for this comedy show, they're getting paid millions of dollars, I believe in upwards of $20 million. So that blows the race thing out the window. And then there's this one, I believe she's a director or a producer, and she's been given a multi-million-dollar deal with Netflix. I believe it's like $100 million deal with Netflix. So that throws the gender bias out the window as well. So this is totally coming from a selfish position, with Monique and her Aries moon attest to that. Not just that, she has Saturn in Aries, and she also has her Mars in Aquarius, squaring Venus in Scorpio. That aspect right there could point to somebody that has a huge sense of entitlement, somebody that uses people to their own advantage, somebody that could be quite manipulative, and somebody that creates enemies because those people don't cater to them, or those people don't follow their program exactly the way they want it to be followed. So Monique has this huge sense of entitlement with her Mars in Aquarius, squaring Venus in Scorpio, and she could be very vindictive. So that explains why when Monique doesn't get her way, she's constantly trying to throw people under the bus. She's in other people's pockets. Oh, and that deals with her South Node in Libra too, constantly comparing herself to others. So she was constantly comparing herself to Amy Schumer, but also Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock and other people within the industry, which is very immature on her part. But see, that's the problem with the lunar nodal axis of Aries and Libra, because with her moon in Aries conjoined to her North Node in Aries, she's embodying that Aries North Node, but in the worst way possible. She's embodying that Aries North Node through being very immature, through acting out, being very impulsive, being reckless with her speech, and being all about conflict. So that North Node in Aries, basically, you're going to be getting into some conflict in this lifetime with your North Node in Aries. So that's just a given. But you know that saying, choose your battles? That's what Monique needs to do. But with her moon conjoined to her North Node in Aries, she has a hard time choosing her battles because that moon causes her to operate off of instinct. And with that moon in Aries is basically like me first. I'm going to look out for me beyond anything else. Basically, even if I have to step on other people, even if I have to shoot other people down, I'm looking out for me at the end of the day. So all that stuff where she's trying to help other comedians and she's trying to look out for other black actresses, that's just an act. All of those terms of endearment she be using, like baby and my loves and daddy, all that's an act. Because when she doesn't get her way, all of that flies out the window. Monique also has a quincunx between her moon and Neptune, which can point to some mental health issues that she's dealing with. And it definitely looks like that's what's the case at this point. I'm actually thinking that she's displaying the symptoms of borderline personality disorder. And if you know anything about that disorder, basically people like that, they're very hard to deal with. And if they can't have things exactly to their liking, if they can't get their way, then basically they're going to devalue you, and they hate your guts and you ain't shit and all this stuff, and they're going to try to destroy you. And that's exactly what Monique sets upon doing when she cannot get her way. So Monique has it really bad, and because she's up in age, more than likely she's not going to change. So this year she's going to be 51. And if she still hasn't learned some hard lessons, more than likely she's not going to learn. And that's going to basically be the end of her career. Now, another problem is this Sidney, who's her husband, and they are in an open relationship, which is very much South Node in Libra, because a South Node in Libra person will be in any kind of relationship just for the sake of being in a relationship because they are so relationship oriented. But in this lifetime, the South Node Libra person has to try to stand on their own 2 feet. But as you can see, Monique is attached to the hip when it comes to Sidney, her husband. Despite them being in an open relationship, which you know that was his idea, despite what she may say. I believe she even said one time that it was her idea, which is some bullshit, because she really needs love at the end of the day. But like I said, all those terms of endearment, baby, my love, daddy, all that stuff, all that's some fake Mars in Aquarius and South Node in Libra shit. That's what she does to try to get in good with people. That's what she does. Like, she goes through this thing where she'll esteem people But then when she doesn't get her way, when they don't do what she wants them to do, then she'll devalue them. That's some classic borderline personality disorder tactics. So again, back to this Sidney, you might as well call Monique Mo Sidney, because basically they're like one unit at this point, operating as one force. And at this point, I'm really questioning Sidney's motives, because I'm starting to think, like, is he trying to sabotage her career on purpose because he's hating, because he's nothing, he hasn't amounted to nothing in life? Because basically he's her manager, and without Monique he would be nothing. So I'm like, is he purposely trying to sabotage Monique? Because so far he has done nothing for her career. He's basically caused her career to take a nosedive. So I'm really questioning Sidney's motives at this point. But Monique can't see it because of that South Node in Libra opposing her Aries moon. She's totally blind to Sidney's motivations, or underlying motivations, should I say. Now, she currently has a challenging transit that consists of transiting Saturn, and is forming a square to her natal Saturn. So that could point to her career taking a turn for the worse. And that aspect hasn't even become exact yet. It's 1 degree away, so it's 1 degree approaching, which means that in the near future, Monique may really be headed for some hard times. She also has transiting Uranus and quincunx to Neptune. That right there is the transit that prompted her to call for this boycott, because Neptune deals with the film industry and it can point to Netflix. And Uranus is the protest. It's the boycott. It's her basically airing other people's dirty laundry. Her basically trying to act like she's trying to take up some type of cause for black actresses in Hollywood, which is some bullshit. So with this quincunx, this is showing that she could really shoot herself in the foot at this time, which it appears that she is, because back when she was attacking Oprah, Tyler Perry, and Lee Daniels, there was a lot of people that were supporting her on that. But now, this time around, a lot of people ain't going for it, especially with her calling for a boycott of Netflix, because a lot of people love their Netflix. What is it, like $10, $12 a month? And, a lot of people aren't trying to pay for cable anymore. So you're calling for a boycott of Netflix. And the reason that she's given is not even an appropriate reason to call for a boycott. And like I said, if she would have been offered the right amount of money according to her specifications, she wouldn't have even been calling for this boycott. So Monique is being very phony. She's being very fake. And she's making Sagittarius look bad. But that's why I'm saying she's a dark-sided Sagittarius, straight up and down. I mean, it's very apparent at this point. So let me know what you think in the comments section. And if you would like a reading, you could go to my website at rabina.com. And I'll be back with some more videos soon, because I'm starting to really get caught up on my work. So I should have some free time soon. So peace, many blessings, and I'll see you soon.